All right, so we're back again. I got a few comments I need to be getting to. This one is a good one. Let me move me up here for a second, right? So we're responding to Frieza DBZ King 69, Dragon Ball Z King 69. And I'm responding to these comments down here, right here. This is what we're responding to. Let's go to read more. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna read what he said. We're gonna watch the video he's commenting on, and then we will respond to him. Okay? So let's just read what he said first. These comments aren't made to excuse the transatlantic slave trade. They use these comments to dismiss the garbage notions of old reparations. So he feels reparations is garbage for African Americans. Of the accident, American and European blacks are not owed a damn thing. That's how he feels. You have a problem with the history of slavery? Get over it. That's what he said. None of them were, are, or know anyone who have a slave in their entire lifetime. Okay. So let's go to the video. Let's go see what he's talking about. Reparations.
The reason this is important is because if you've ever brought up the transatlantic slave trade to an American or European, often you'll hear things like, oh, Africans sold their own people, or things like, for instance, oh, slavery was always practiced in Africa. And often these comments are pretty much made to kind of justify the transatlantic slave trade because the idea is Africans were equally responsible for it. And I want to debunk that.
So
I want to debunk that.
What was his point?
Africans were equally responsible. Africans were equally responsible for. Africans were equally responsible. Is Africans were equally responsible. Is Africans were equally. Is Africans were equally. Is Africans were equally responsible for it. And I want to debunk that. Is Africans were equally responsible for it. And I want to debunk. Is Africans were equally responsible for it. And I want to debunk that.
So he said the idea is that they were responsibly have responsible for it, and he said he wants to debunk that. That was his point. So his point is debunking that Africans were responsible 50% of the transatlantic slave trade. That's what he's debunking. Now, when we go to the comments, again, he said these comments aren't made to excuse the transatlantic slave trade. So he's making a sub point. He's telling the dude in the video, no, you're wrong, I'm right. Though they use these comments to dismiss the garbage notion of old reparations. So let's break his comments down, okay? One by one, okay? First, I want to kind of go with this part right here, right? When he says, you have a problem with the history of slavery, get over it. You already got to understand what type of person you're dealing with. This is low empathy, right? So let's look. 1 second. I left my keyboard all the way over there. Okay, let's look up together. I just want to look it up together. I'm sorry. Okay, let's look this up together real quick. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. So I'm just gonna be honest, right here, you have a problem with history of slavery, get over it. This isn't an empathetic person, okay? The ability to understand and share the feelings of others, he doesn't seem to have that ability. So you have to kind of understand that when they talk like this. There's a lot of them that speak like this, and it's not their fault. If they don't have empathy, they just don't have it. You can't get mad at someone that doesn't have empathy. You just can't, okay? But I want to say, right, when you say get over it, right, that's just not true. History does not expire. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay? Do you understand? Every year we learn history, and whether it's in school, whether it's through holidays, whether it's through the media, history is brought up. So technically there's never a get over it. because it's always going to be talked about, always going to be brought up because it's history. What do? Forget it? Okay, now Germany still pays Holocaust reparations. Indigenous tribes, they did receive some land or some type of treaty settlements. The U.S. paid reparations to Japanese Americans for internment in 1942, paid in 1988. That was 46 years later. So, when they was going to war in 1942, they got paid 46 years later. And then also the U.S. paid slaveholders reparations after emancipation, but never paid the enslaved. So when someone like this says, for an example, right, they use to dismiss the garbage notion of owed reparations, but there's other examples of people receiving reparations, and those people, for example, 46 years later, the Japanese Americans, they didn't go through any of that, right? Is that not fair? I think that's fair. Now, of course, if we say to this person that's commenting, right, and we say, well, we deserve reparations, he already showed he doesn't have empathy. So he's not going to put himself in our shoes to comprehend why we're even standing in the first place. But let's continue and get this over with quickly. Okay, so let's go. American and European blacks are not owed a damn thing. Well, I mean, logically or technically that's true because they ain't giving us nothing. But to say they're not owed anything, that's not a valid argument. If we are descendants from the people that picked cotton, and cotton was $1 trillion business, and we got no cut, then yes, that directly affects us. Why don't you think it affects us? I want to know. Why do you assume that it doesn't affect us? It doesn't affect me from a walk outside and live a normal life, day-to-day progress type of. No, it affects us from a standpoint of, in this country, in order to get the land back, we would have to be as evil as their people to kill or to get nukes, or if not, we are going to be told to leave when our people built the country for them. So when white people get to make laws and inventions, and it was off of killing Native Americans, bringing Africans over, getting their pockets fat where they can make the laws and make the states. And now they're telling us, hey, be grateful that you get to live in this after we killed off your people. And some white people just, they don't even hear it. They don't hear it. It's like, oh well, get over it. That line alone shows this isn't a person. That's why I didn't respond to comments. I really make the video. This isn't a person that actually is going to fairly listen with an open heart. And it's okay. Don't make them. Okay, so then he say, none of them were, are, or know anyone whom had been a slave in their entire lifetime. So I guess that means that they don't think about the trickle effect, right, of everything. So for an example, they will say black people kill black people. But what they won't say is when we were the Black Panther Party, they killed us. I'm using that as one example. What does that mean? We will come together and then we always have to be watched by the white men. We don't get to make the rules. Ain't no black people that get to change the laws. We're a minority here. So when you say, oh well, get over it, that's because your people, when you read history, your people wasn't enslaved. So like, for an example, historically, my grandmother, she came up here during the Great Migration because it was better opportunities up here in the north. So what I'm saying is she don't get to be a slave holder that ran up trillions of dollars. So if she ain't a millionaire and now she's still stuck in poverty looking for opportunities, and then we are born or her kids are born, do you not see how this all traces back to somewhere down my grandmother's lineage? Her people was getting their ass whooped instead of getting money for picking the cotton. Did that not make sense to you? That when you trace history, somewhere down the line is going to go back to us getting our ass whooped for cotton and we didn't get paid nothing. You can't just skip past that. Cotton was here in America, produced 80% of the world's cotton. Look, we can look it up. Two-thirds. By 1860, enslaved people produced over 2 billion pounds of cotton annually, accounting for 2/3 of the world's cotton supply. This production was primarily driven by the cotton industry in the southern United States, which relied heavily on the labor of enslaved individuals. And you think their children, so the ones that went through enslaved, you think the free ones is gonna look at the history and say, oh, well, thank God that our people produce all this cotton and we don't get no money from it, no lands, no guarantees, no power. All we got is the freedom to go work in the system that already did this to our people, or leave. If we fight, that's wrong. If we speak about it, that's wrong too. If we get angry about it, that's also wrong. If we feel a way about it, that is also wrong. Oh my God. So this is a great comment though. Thank you for this comment. And the reason I say that is because this is an example for a lot of people to see. You know, this is how they think. And you gotta be okay with the air. Let me give you a light, I'm gonna give you a heart too. This is how they think. Now, let me not generalize, not all of them, but I believe most of them think like this, and it's okay. You should be ready to accept that this is how they're gonna come at you. They're not really listening to you. They're not gonna ask your viewpoint. They're not gonna ask why you feel the way you feel. They're not gonna ask you anything. They're gonna try to tell you what to do. No, I'm telling you, look, he literally asked me one question. You have a problem with the history of slavery? I'm like, oh, I get to speak? That nigga, he said, get over it. He ain't letting you speak nothing. Speak. He ain't letting me speak. He said, get over it, bruh. Ain't no speaking. I'm telling you what to do. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. But I can tell you what to do. I can tell you to get over it. But you can't tell me to join the fight, or tell me to shut up, or tell me to mind my business, or tell me if you ain't helping the cause, then keep your mouth closed. You ain't gonna listen to that. You're not gonna listen to any of that. But when you say it, yeah, for some odd reason, yeah, we're gonna listen to you. When you say get over it, we just gonna, okay, I got you. Yeah, sure. Hey man, no, it's not gonna work. Okay, this is history, and since this is history, we can talk about it and feel about it as much as we want to. Okay, that's just a reality. Now, I hope you have a blessed day, okay? I'm not even gonna keep going. We hitting 14 minutes. So I truly, I'm not being funny. I really do. I really hope you have a blessed day. And I hope you just be a little more empathetic. If you're gonna have a conversation or talk or any of that, be a little more empathetic. Have some empathy, okay? All right. Now, have a great day.